you are a person, you're listening to this. I'm Santier, and today I want to talk about a pet peeve of mine because it's minor and unimportant but interesting to talk about. So this is particularly the way that people tend to use things, the words like swearing and cursing and cuss as all kind of like synonyms of each other. This is something that bothers me for no particularly important reasons, but there is a kind of, at least in my mind, a distinction between the three. So I'm going to try to lay out that distinction a little bit. So a cuss is just vulgar or foul language or whatever. The F word often is a cuss, for example. It's, in my opinion, fairly minor. And then you have the other two, which are much more interesting, in my opinion. So swearing, specifically, would be, at least in the way that I think of it, keep in mind, you're allowed to use words however you want, as long as people know what you mean. But to my mind, what swearing technically is it is appealing to some exterior source of authority of your own veracity. So what I mean by that in other language is it's a way to try to say, no, I'm telling the truth, or I'm being honest here, and I'm invoking some other source as some sort of confirmation of that. So a common example would be swearing to God, specifically, or swearing by God, that you're being honest. So this is appealing to God as the reason why you're being honest, for however that's supposed to work. It's why we have swearing in ceremonies, for example. It's similar to the concept of an oath, but not exactly. But it's the sort of thing where it's meant to indicate that you're taking something more seriously, that you are looking to indicate your honesty through some external validation. So it's an interesting sort of practice to kind of refer to cussing as swearing, because they're very different things in those regards. And then cursing. Cursing is a particularly different one as well. It's specifically referring to, at least in my mind, wishing harm on someone else. So something like die in a fire would be a curse, right? You're wishing for them to die in a fire, which is kind of an awful thing to want to happen to somebody, but it's wishing ill by someone is specifically a curse. So the popular one involves some variant of the word damn, because to damn, D-A-M-N, not the object placed in a body of water or a flowing source of water to turn it into a body of water, is a condemnation, right? It's wishing them to go to hell, basically, or otherwise be condemned. For example, the phrase "the damned" refers to those who are condemned or suffering punishment, that sort of thing. So cursing is also itself a different sort of thing, and there can be more mild forms. You could wish that somebody would have a headache the next day or something. That would be a curse, potentially a more mild one, but... So anyway, this is kind of the distinction and the difference between cussing, cursing, and swearing. And for whatever reason, to me, it's a bit of a pet peeve when people kind of use them as synonyms for each other, when in my mind, they're quite different things. So anyway, that's all I really wanted to say. So hopefully you enjoyed or got something interesting out of it. And until next time, everyone, take care. Bye-bye.